everyone, welcome to Cricut Time. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe for step-by-step tutorials and project ideas that you can make with your Cricut, as well as all things sublimation. Today I'm teaming up with Miss May Bow Studio, who specializes in creating beautiful bows, and we are going to make two different kinds of bows, a pinch bow and a double bow. You can head over to Miss May Bow Studio's page for lots of good tips and tricks on making bows and using faux leather. Today there are two parts to this video. First, we will show you how to sublimate any design onto faux leather. After that, we will show you how to cut and assemble that leather to make your own beautiful bows. For this video, you will need the following materials: a Cricut or Silhouette. Today we are using the Cricut Maker. A pink cutting mat, which is perfect for fabric and faux leather. Any color of faux leather will work for making a regular bow. If you want to try sublimation, you'll need to use a plain white faux leather that doesn't have any texture to it. Next, you'll need a glue gun or some super glue. Next, we have a few blank headbands and hair clips. To keep the bow secure, we will be using some craft wire. We will need the usual Cricut tools, some scissors, a lifter tool, and a brayer. And lastly, a lint roller. If you are going to put your own design onto the leather, you will also need these materials for sublimation: a sublimation printer, or a printer that has been converted to do sublimation, a heat press. The one we are using today is the Cricut Easy Press, a heat mat, sublimation paper, heat tape, and parchment or butcher paper. Let's get started with sublimation. If you don't have a sublimation setup, don't worry, you can skip this section and just use regular faux leather or pick up a patterned faux leather instead. Easter is just around the corner, so we will be making two different Easter patterns. The first one is this cute pink bunny and flower pattern, and the second is this fun little blue and white one. Both of them are linked in the description below if you want to download the same ones. To set up the sublimation page, I'll pull over the first pattern into Microsoft Word. We want this design to be 8 inches long, so I'll click on Size and Position and change the width to 8 inches. Part of the pattern is sticking off the page, so I'll just center it, then we can see it all. Our bows will only be an inch or two high, so I can crop this and fit more designs onto the page. I'll crop this to 2 inches high. That looks right. And now I'll just move it to the top so I can fit lots of different patterns on this page. Now I can repeat that process with the second pattern. Bring it in, adjust it to 8 inches wide, put it back in the middle, and crop it to 2 inches high. We will need one more little piece to be the bow strap. The easiest way to get this ready is to just copy and paste one of the patterns, and then crop it to the size you need. We'll go with 1 inch wide by 2 inches high today. Perfect. Now I'll repeat that process again for the second one. When I have a lot of extra room on a page like this, I like to copy and paste a few more of the pattern. That way I have them if I want to make a few extra in the future. One thing to remember when doing sublimation is that your design will get printed onto the leather backwards. With these patterns, that doesn't really matter, but if you have any writing, make sure that you flip your designs before you print them, so they don't end up backwards on your final product. This is ready, so now I can print it. For the settings, change your paper type to premium matte paper, and if it doesn't do it automatically, change the quality to best. Let the ink dry on the sublimation paper for a minute before handling it so you don't smudge any of the ink. The image will come out of the paper looking kind of dull and faded. Don't worry, this is normal. The ink will brighten up once it's activated with the heat press. Now we can show you how to sublimate onto the faux leather. Let's start out by cutting the strips into their sections, either with a paper cutter or scissors. This doesn't have to be precise. It's okay if there's a bit of blank paper around the edges. Next, we can cut out a piece of faux leather the same size as the pattern. We did a few trial and errors and found that this works best on smooth white faux leather without any texture to it. Now we are ready for the heat press. Protect the heat mat by putting down a piece of parchment or butcher paper. Next is the faux leather with the good side facing up. Now we can take our pattern and put that onto the leather with the pattern side facing the leather. We don't want this to wiggle at all, so we can use heat-resistant tape to keep it in place. Let's put down another piece of parchment or butcher paper to protect the heat press, and then we can press this at 360 degrees for 30 seconds. Wait for this to cool down completely before touching or moving it, and then you can remove the sublimation paper. Use your weeder tool to help you get it started if needed. And there you go! This pattern has sublimated right onto the leather. We repeated this process for the second pattern. When you compare the same design side to side, you can see how much the design brightens up from the heat press. Now that the sublimation portion of our bows are complete, let's go on to the next steps of cutting and assembling our bows.
Let's begin in Design Space. I made this ruffled pinch bow design and have included the link in the description below so you can find it easily. Upload the template to Design Space and insert it into your project. Be sure to measure in advance to decide how big you want your pinch bow. We have changed the size of the design so it works for our project. In this case, this bow is for a girl, so it's about 3.5 inches wide. Our design is ready to go, so we press Make It. Now we have to set our base material. Select Faux Leather. For Cricut Explorer Air 2 and older, make sure you switch the dial to Custom first.
When you are cutting out faux leather, you'll need a sticky mat. The pink mat is the best one to use for fabrics. A trick you can do to make this a success is to cut your faux leather with the patterned side down. This method helps get a cleaner cut because the front of the faux leather adheres to the mat much better than the back does. Once it is in place, grab your brayer and make sure the leather is stuck down really well to the mat. If you find that yours lifts or moves around, you can take some tape and tape down all of the edges. Just be sure to keep the tape out of the cutting zone, or you might end up with a sticky blade from the tape residue. Cricut cutting machines have these little star wheels at the top to help grip the mats and keep them in place. They are good for paper and vinyl, but with thick material like faux leather, they will leave indents on your material. We'll just slide them out of the way to the right for this project. When the machine is done cutting, don't unload the mat just yet. Let's check that the cut actually went all the way through first with the lifter tool. You can see here that when we try to lift the backing away from the bow, it's just coming up as one connected piece. It is partially cut, but not all the way, so let's run it through a second time. The machine made 2 cuts. Now let's check it again. Perfect. This time the lifter tool can go all the way through and we have a nice clean cut. Now we can unload this mat from the machine. Next comes the fun part. Time to assemble the bows. Let's start with the pink pinch bow. Begin by cutting a piece of wire about 2 inches long, then set it close by. Time to start pinching. To make a pinch bow, fold the leather in half with the design side facing each other. Pinch the material firmly together, holding as close to the edge as possible. Now fold both of the flaps back down and grab the middle of this accordion style fold. If the edges are bent up, just pop them back down. Now we can take the wire and secure the pinch by twisting the wire around the middle as tightly as possible. Once it is tight, flip the bow over. Take the wire ends and smooth them down flat against the back of the bow. Take your scissors and trim the wire as close to the middle as you can. This pinch bow is super cute. We are going to stick this one on a headband. We will need another piece of wire, and all we have to do is put the bow where we want it, then use the wire to fasten it firmly to the headband. This is nice and secure, so now I'll flip the headband over and smooth out the wires so that they're in line with the headband. Once you are happy with the placement, grab your scissors and trim the wires. Push it down to make sure any remaining wire is flat against the headband. Finally, let's wrap the bow with a little middle strap. We have a little strip here that we cut off, and we'll just wrap it around the middle. This looks a little long, so we'll just trim the edges a bit. Now we can stick it down with Gorilla Glue, or you can use a glue gun. Use a little bit of glue, and then hold it firmly in place until the glue is dry. Now we'll repeat that process on the other side of the strap. Add some glue, then hold and press. This is nice and secure, and this pinch bow headband is ready for Easter. Next, we'll show you how to make a double bow. The pattern for this one is also in Design Space, and I'll include a link in the description below. We will be taking that blue bunny pattern and combining it with this blue textured faux leather. We'll start out by getting rid of any loose fibers on the back of the leather with a lint brush. For a double bow, we need to add a little bit of glue on the edge of the flap and fold the flap over to secure it in place. Press it firmly for 20 seconds. Now we can do that on the other side. Add some glue, fold it over, and hold. Here is the first layer of this bow. Let's make the next one. Repeat the process. Roll it with a lint brush. Add some glue to the edge. Fold it over and stick it in place. Stick the other side in place and hold it down. Now we have both layers. All we have to do is glue them together. Add a little bit of glue into the middle and set it in place. Now we can finish it off with a middle strap and glue that in place. This one is going to be a hair clip, so we will glue the blank clip on the back. While the glue is drying, pinch different sections of the clip into the leather so it is secure on the whole clip and doesn't lift on you down the road. Lastly, fluff up any of the leather that got squished in the pinching process, and then this bow is ready to go. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you learned how to make your own bows and some useful tips on using faux leather and how to sublimate your own patterns. Don't forget to subscribe for more project ideas and tutorials on all things Cricut and sublimation.